So in one of the previous videos, I've shown you how to work with ternary operator chaining. If you've not seen that video, then please go and take a look. And so now we know that ternary operator chaining is an easier and a simpler way to write a lot of if and else blocks, right? So instead of writing a lot of nested if and else blocks, you can just chain a lot of ternary operators together and get the same work done with a much cleaner and leaner syntax, and the code will also be much less in your file. But what if I told you that there was a way to write the chained ternary operator, but in even a cleaner syntax, right? So there is a way to do that in JavaScript, and this can get a little confusing for some people. And if you want to use it in your code, you have to be a little hands-on with it before you use it in your code, right? So let's define an object called user. By the way, I'm on my JS fiddle window, so I'm defining an object called user. It has a key called address, which has another object, right? And that has a key called street, and the street, let's say, is called 5th Avenue. So this is a very similar object to what we used in the ternary operator chaining video. Now, so you'd seen in the last video, in the ternary operator chaining video, that we were doing something like this, right? User dot address, and then double question mark, user dot address dot street, right? Wherein we were checking if this existed, then we would perform some operation to do with this value if this existed, and then there's some value will be executed, and then if not, or basically else, something else will be executed, something like that, right? Now a simpler way to write this is, so let's say alert, right? Inside alert, let's say user question mark dot address question mark dot street, right? So let me show you the output of this. So it says 5th Avenue, right? So what's happening here is that it's checking for user, and it's checking for user dot address. Now when I say question mark dot address, it's assuming that I'm checking user and then dot address, and then I'm checking user dot address dot street, right? So so we don't have to write a lot of repetitive code like user and then user dot address, then user dot address dot street, then user dot address dot if anything else is there inside street, right? You can just say question mark dot address. So JavaScript automatically assumes that you're talking about the address property inside of user, and you're talking about the street property inside of address inside of user, right? So question mark dot is basically the shorter syntax for the ternary operator chaining, right? Especially in the case where you have a nested object. And now when I got the value 5th Avenue, it was basically it was giving me the value of user dot address dot street, because it was checking user, then it was checking user dot address, then the dot street, and then this value dot street value, which is 5th Avenue, it was just giving me as an alert here, right? So I hope you find this interesting, and if you like this video, then do subscribe, and thanks a lot for watching.